Okay, how's everybody doing? I just got back from Martinsville last night, and my ears are still pretty ringing really hard. But the show's got to go on because I wanted to show you guys some really cool stuff I've made. These are zombies for the Zombie Bash event in Gaslands. There's 60 of them, and they're Dark Alliance zombies. And I painted them all. And the only bad thing about these guys is that the bases they come on are very flimsy, and so in order to give them a little bit of uh, weight, I made little penny bases for them. The actual rule book does talk about using pennies as a diameter, so not necessarily for the zombies, but I think it's a good starting point for them. And I basically mixed and matched a lot of different colors together to get certain looks. And some of them kind of became happy accidents, like this guy here. He looks kind of like Luke as Gaslands TV. He looks like he may have been one of the reporters that got a little too close to the action. And if you follow a certain Warhammer content producer, you might know where I got the idea for that. That little fellow. But I don't necessarily share the same opinions, except for the love of 3D printing and the hate of Games Workshop. But other than that, but I still like the the characterization that he gives certain people. But yeah, I think these turned out really well. So basically, I picked about 4 colors here. I pick a color and then paint about 4 figures, like an article of clothing, and then I'd go and do another 4 figures in another color until I kind of got like a mix of the way I wanted them to look. So that's why I really didn't want just a horde of one color. And I think it turned out really well. I think they look really, really good. So you got cop zombies and pudgy zombies and scientist zombies and nurse zombies and old lady granny zombies, and it's a good little mix of things. The only thing is the kits that these came in had like little baby and children zombies, and I just didn't feel right using those. But so yeah, I got that done, and I've got some other things. Now these two, I think I've shown them. This is Cazador and the Green Gecko. But they didn't have their actual dropper weapons on them, so now I put mines and a caltrop launcher on those two. And this is a New Vegas inspired team, so this is Cazador, Green Gecko, and now joining them is Fire Gecko with the Napalm Dropper, and the Golden Gecko with the rear-mounted machine gun. Rear-mounted machine gun came off of a 172nd Jeep kit, and I think it looks pretty good. But they're the Implements of Carnage super bikes, and I like them. I really do. And then I've got the 3D printed bases here, and then these bases were just made out of craft popsicle sticks. So, or no, I think these were actually store-bought ones. I'm not for sure now. It's been a while. But it's real easy to make bases for motorcycles and stuff out of popsicle sticks and whatever, because you just need to have it at that scale. And now these here are 3D printed. They didn't 3D print out too well. You can see on the tires if you look real close, they're a little wonky. But for Gaslands, I think they look really good. I don't have a name for these two yet, but they're basically count as bikes. But yeah, they're war go karts. Machine gun and rear mounted ram, front mounted ram if I have the cans for it. But most of the time it's just gonna be a rear mounted ram and machine gun. So yeah, I figured this would be kind of a fun little vehicle for Slime because they get audience votes for having more hazards than hull points. So I might as well go with the least amount of hull points as possible to try and get the audience votes. And plus, eventually they might, destroy something. And, then just be like, you got killed by a go-kart. But, yeah, pretty simple paint jobs on both of them. And again, they're on 3D printed bases that I made. And, they look real good. And I think it turned out really well. It's just, you can see on the bottom, they really didn't form well. I think I used too many supports. Or maybe I didn't use enough supports. One thing about 3D printing is there's no set guarantee anything will work. You've got to fiddle with it and hope it works. And then fiddle with it some more. And then tweak and play around with it until you get it right. And then there's this guy here. He is, I shrank down a Warhammer 40k STL file to Gaslands scale. And this is the Mastodon. He's got it's basically a bike with tank tracks. And he's another slime biker. I'm thinking about running it with front round or something. He's got a sword, and this is made from the guy himself. He was made from a British 1/72 scale Aerofix guy. The torso off of a resin wasteland cop, the arms off of a kilt, the sword off of a kilt. And then the head off of a Dark Alliance Stalker figure. And then I green stuffed the strap to hold the sword on the back. And I green stuffed his hair so he's got blonde hair flowing in the wind. But, it didn't print out perfectly, but I think the look ended up being ramshackle enough to really fit the Gaslands. The bike itself was 3D printed. Didn't turn out that well, but paint job, I think, and the custom figure, I think, made him look really, really good. I'm really happy with him. But, yeah, so he drives by and smacks people with a sword. Or he hits people with the Mastodon's tusks. But, anyway. I think he looks really good. And then the other thing I wanted to show was the stuff I've 3D printed for the actual more game scenario stuff. And so there is an alternate mode in the game for exploding barrels. And I tend to try and make enough for there to be enough for about 4 people in a game. So it's the alternative to flag tag where you use exploding barrels, and one good thing about it is you can use these as just regular lightweight destructible or explosive extractable terrain in any other game, any other event. So you got this one here. This one they printed out okay. It's just I broke it off of the base, so there was a crack there. And so I improvised and made a little sled, made it look like a little sludge spill or something. But, basically, some quick paint, and My ears still are ringing. I'm trying to hear myself think. But so yeah, you got some Warhammer decals and whatever I could find that would make it look like these were, explosive and dangerous barrels. And I made them all different colors so they're easier to keep track of. But you got a pink one. The pink one's probably the most dangerous one. And it's always the pink ones that are the dangerous ones. But yeah. So you got that, and then I've got these are technically for Warhammer 40K, but I think they're perfect for the event where you're trying to capture crates. And so I mean, yeah, they're for 40K, but I mean, you can see the Imperial Eagle on a couple of these, like this one here. And so yeah, there's a couple more here. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, that's all of them. And yeah, just simple paint jobs on them. I didn't go too crazy with them. A little bit of rust, a little bit of dust, sand, and then a speed paint coat on the sand to make it darker, and then I came back and ran the highlighter over it. A dry brush highlight, I should say. But yeah, nothing major. But I think they look good. I think they looked really, really good at the end. And again, I mixed and matched some colors. You got a matte tan and a matte blue with the metallic pink and metallic orange. Just because to be a little different than just plain old metal color. The metal color was already on the inside parts. I didn't want to make them look all uniform. But so yeah, that's that. And now these I got off of Amazon, and I'm gonna show you here. I'm not too thrilled with them, but you'll see here why. Just grab them real quick. They were cheap off of Amazon. They're good scatter terrain, but you can clearly see the print lines, and so it's not like it's competition like Gaslands UK Car of the Month material or anything, but for just throwing out onto the table to have drivers run around and over or whatever, I think this is okay for that. And again, it was cheap, but I don't know. I think an FDM printer could do better than this. Really, I think it must have been just the settings that they did it on. The Amazon store I got it from, but I think I'll stick with resin for most things. But yeah, anyway, I did that. I did the painting on those, but so that's part of what I've been up to here lately. And I do have some new vehicles to show, and but I'll put that up in another episode, just for time constraints, because I don't want to keep everybody here for 30 minutes going over everything I've done. But yeah, so the horde is coming for you. Like, share, and subscribe. Take care and be safe. Bye.